Otto Dibble works at Gladrags. I should check there.
Please tell me you didn't take it. But perhaps it's been here all...
Mr. Dibble, may I speak with you? It's about Theophilus Harlow.
I've nothing to say about him. May I interest you in a stunning cravat today?
Please, sir, I would like to help. I spoke to Mrs. Bickle.
You know the Bickles? All right. But we must be discreet. Can't have Mr. Hill hearing this.
I know Mr. Hill. He was kind to me the day of the troll attack.
Oh, he's a good man. But even he wouldn't understand about Harlow. It started a few weeks ago. I was distracted, reading a note, when you-know-who came into the shop. I hid the note behind the counter and offered to help him. He stared at me for a moment, then asked me to check on an order he'd placed. I went into the storeroom to check on what turned out to be a non-existent order. When I returned, he was holding the note.
What was in the note?
It was a note from Rosie Hill, Mr. Hill's daughter. You see, we've been, secretly engaged these past 6 months. We haven't told Mr. Hill yet. I dare say he has higher hopes for her. Harlow advised me in no uncertain terms that my relationship with Rosie, not to mention my employment here, depended upon my cooperation.
What did he ask you to do?
It all happened so quickly. In an instant, he took a very expensive scarf from the counter, pocketed it, and smiled. He said, "Your secret is safe as long as I can supply my lady friend with delightful items like this every so often." I've been able to cover for his requests until now with some creative bookkeeping, but I can't keep it up for much longer. I'm terrified to say anything. I could never live without Rosie.
Could you give me a bit more detail about the note that might help me to identify it should I come across it?
It's on Rosie's special pink stationery. It has her monogram at the top, RH. That's how Mr. Hill would know it was real.
What have you been doing to keep the extortion a secret?
Well, as I mentioned, creative bookkeeping. And I've also been trying to cover the costs with my own savings, but I'm running out of money. Of course, none of this bodes well for my efforts to improve my circumstances and be worthy of Rosie.
I met Mr. Hill the day of the troll attack. He was kind to me. Why don't you just tell him?
He's a lovely man. But when it comes to Rosie, I fear he loses all perspective. He'd see this as a grave betrayal. I'd lose my job instantly, and Rosie as well.
Thank you for telling me. I'm gathering evidence to take Harlow down.
I would love nothing more than to see him rotting in Azkaban, but be careful. He's an awful man and incredibly dangerous. As for Rosie's letter, should you happen upon it, I have committed it to memory. You may destroy it immediately.
Understood.
Now hurry off before Mr. Hill returns. Where was I?
I've spoken with Mr. Bickle's friends. Now to find Natty.
Let's look at what we have, shall we?
Like Natty to be late. She said she was going to the Hogshead. Perhaps I'll find her there. He must be around here somewhere. Revelio! Natty's wand. She can cast without it. She wanted me to find this. She's in trouble. Revelio will show me where she was taken. Footprints led to this room. There must be another way forward. Revelio. Accio. Arresto Memento. Accio. The hidden door. Natty must have been taken this way. I need to find her quickly. Revelio. I'd better be sure I'm not seen.
It's not gonna work. Using that girl as bait, Aslan's coming for her. We ought to just kill her. Don't be a Hogwarts stupid.
Revelio.
Nothing coming here alone.
The fog blighted us, Spirit, I'll agree. Nonetheless, we would spoil the project. And so should we hold our heads. Someone messing about?
You're putting me to sleep. You disappoint. I'll not be your marionette. Someone there. Come back here.
Expelliarmus! Leviosa! Bombard! Arresto Memento!
Hey,
Expulsor. You'll feel that tomorrow. If you last that long.
coward! Conductive, aren't we?
Arresto Memento!
You better. Expulso! Thought you could
Reducto.
now to finish the job.
You weaken quickly.
What are you?
Reducto.
Don't go down easy. Expulso!
Get out of there.
That's what you got.
Might want to look up. You've made a great expulso!
Reducto.
Hey! Expulso! You can't hold that forever. while you're still alive.
Imperial!
As you wish.
Knew you were still hanging about.
Look at Poe that was taken from Agabus Filbert. He'll be thrilled to have this back.
Expulso! Expulso!
Arrest him,
Conductive, aren't we?
Levioso! Sendo!
Now you've joined the club.
Dependo! Incendio!
Ha!
Infringo!
Well, you'll have to do better than that. What are your thoughts on electricity? Expulsion! That will very enjoy.
Flipendo! Incendio! Infringo!
Made a great.
Expelliarmus!
Where did you go, coward?
Fatalis! Revelio. Revelio. Bombarda! Here. Flipendo! Revelio.
Otto Dibble's love letter from Rosie. He wanted me to destroy this if I found it. Natty must be here somewhere.
Revelio.
I knew you would realize I had left my wand for you. Speak to Mr. Rabe. He will tell you what you need to do.
Over here.
Mr. Rabe? Daisy told me you'd been abducted.
You spoke with my wife. How is she?
Worried about you. Are you all right?
I am all right. Thank you for coming. These locks are cursed, and there's an anti-apparition jinx on the cells. Even Natty's skill with wandless magic cannot free us. I need you to find my wand.
Use mine. We'll find yours together once you're out of there.
I need my wand for this. Using one with which I have no connection may not work as well or as quickly, and we cannot risk detection.
I shall do my best. Any idea where it might be?
It's nearby. I can sense it.
Understood. I'll find it.
Your friend Natty was not able to summon my wand.
Revelio.
It must be blocked by something.
Mr. Abe's wand.
My wand is somewhere in this room.
Mr. Abe's wand. He'll be glad to have this back. Mr. Abe, I found your wand.
Well done. I knew it was nearby. Now, you best stand back. One never knows how a curse will react to being broken.
Revelio.
Thank you, Mr. Isco.
My pleasure. And thank you, my friend. We owe our lives to your bravery. I may be too weak to disapparate with you both, but I can try.
You go ahead. Find Officer Singer. We will get out of here on our own.
Very well. But be careful. Thank you, my young friends.
Be prepared for a fight. These Ashwinders must pay.
Revelio. Confringo. Bombarda!
Let's find Officer Singer and put an end to Harlow once and for all.
Natsai Onai. I should have known. And you, the troll dispatcher. Oh, thank goodness the two of you are safe. Isco Rabe told me a couple of students had rescued him. Should have known it was you two.
Is Mr. Abe all right?
He is. I sent him home to his wife. Miss Onai, your mother will not be pleased to learn that you're still risking your safety pursuing these dangerous men.
Actually, Officer Singer, Natty and I learned of several Hogsmeade residents who've had their lives threatened by the Ashwinders. In addition to abducting Mr. Rabe to blackmail his wife and Natty, Rookwood and Harlow have also extorted Agabus Filbert and Otto Dibble.
I will look into all of that. As for the two of you, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but you are taking great risk. Next time, please let the authorities handle the Ashwinders.
Yes, officer. Do you have enough evidence to take down Harlow and the rest of Rookwood's lot?
Well, it's certainly a good start. We shall see. But you can leave this to me now. Natsai, you may wish to speak with your mother about this before I do.
My mother will not like this. Thank you again for rescuing me. We shall speak soon.
I remember you. Your generosity helped me afford this rather exotic snake contraption. Very Salazar, isn't it? Very generous. Thank you. This might be enough.
The Ashwinders have ceased pestering me. I suspect that's your doing. Thank you from me and Rosie both. We're just leaving for our honeymoon, after we tell Mr. Hill of our recent marriage. Wish me luck.
Hogsmeade, here I come.
It is wonderful to see you back here. Penny wishes you safe and wondrous travels.
Welcome back.
Hello, Professor. I have news. The goblins are looking for something. Another repository. They've built drills to help with their search.
Most troubling.
Are these repositories like the broken container I found at Rookwood Castle?
They are. I fear we have no time to lose. Have a look at the map. Fortunately, the next trial is fairly nearby.
It's Hogwarts.
As you know, I was headmistress in my time. My portrait hangs in the headmaster's office. In fact, I witnessed Professor Black learn of your arrival. And I'll confess that I wondered about you.
Wait, is the next trial in the headmaster's office?
It is. I had hoped that when the time came, the occupant of that office would be of help to us. Unfortunately, this headmaster seems wildly unconcerned with anything but himself. You'll need to access the office while he's away.
I understand. Very well. We'll find some way to get in.
Good. I shall meet you in my portrait there. Until then.
How will I gain access to the headmaster's office? Perhaps Professor Fig will know what to do.
bombard 'em!
Professor Fig, the Keepers have shown me where the next trial is.
Has something changed?
Lodgok and I have learned that the goblins are searching for another repository, like the one we saw at Rookwood Castle. And I discovered that they're building massive drills to help in their search. Professor Fitzgerald seemed very concerned.
I see. Ranrock clearly knows even more than we suspected.
And sir, there's something else. Lodgok knew Miriam.
He knew Miriam?
They encountered each other at Rookwood Castle. She was doing research. That's where she found the container with the port key. He liked her so much that he let her leave with it, despite orders from Ranrock.
I don't know what to say. She could win over almost anyone. I want to hear more of this. And, in fact, I'd like to speak with Lodgok directly. But we've no time now. Where is the next trial?
Believe it or not, it's in the headmaster's office.
Incredible. Very well, you'll need the password to get past the stone gargoyle. The headmaster's house elf will know it.
I don't know the headmaster's house elf. Will he even speak to me? I imagine he's loyal to the headmaster.
He is. So you'll need a disguise. I have just the thing. A polyjuice potion. You'll look and sound like Professor Black.
Wait, doesn't polyjuice potion require a bit of the person you want to change into? And take ages to brew?
It does.
So how do you already have polyjuice potion to change into Professor Black?
One never knows when such a thing may come in handy. Let's just say I felt the need to be prepared for anything after my fruitless trip to the ministry on his behalf. Now, time is of the essence. Drink up and I shall explain more. How do you feel?
Incredible. I won't forget that taste anytime soon. How do I sound?
Convincing. I've taken the liberty of transfiguring your robes. As we discussed, you'll need the password from Scrope, who could be anywhere in the castle. You might look for Professor Kagawa. She's taken to badgering the poor elf about Quidditch in the hopes that he can convince Black to change his mind. Thus far, unsuccessfully.
I see. But what if Professor Black sees me?
Leave him to me. I shall tell him where to meet a liaison from the ministry in Hogsmeade. That should give you plenty of time.
Thank you, Professor. I suppose we'll meet again in the map chamber.
It's rather strange to hear gratitude coming from Professor Black. I'll see you there.
Now to find the headmaster's house elf.
Do you have a moment, Professor? Professor, I was hoping to catch you.
Places to be, Professor Sharp. Places to be.
Of course, sir. Only, you'd asked me about a particular potion, and I
did? I did, yes. Well, spit it out, Sharp. I don't have all day.
Probably best not to discuss it here, sir.
I assure you, Sharp, you may speak freely.
Very well. I've brewed the cure for boils you wanted. I can drop it by your office when it's convenient.
Of course, yes. No need for all the cloak and dagger. Simply have a student deliver it.
A student. Very well, sir, if you insist.
I do. And thank you, Sharp. I just hope you've brewed enough for all my boils.
Now, to determine which student gets this rather unenviable task.
I wonder almost daily why I accepted this appointment from the Ministry.
I thought I heard the headmaster approaching.
Gareth! Mr. Weasley! What are you doing here? Don't you have, somewhere to be?
Oh, Professor! Yes, of course. All sorts of places I'd rather be right now. Do you need something from me?
I'm looking for my house elf. Surely you've seen him?
Ah, the little one-eared fellow. I saw him heading to the Great Hall moments ago, muttering on about your, sterling graces, sir.
I am watching you, Mr. Weasley. Mr. Redding, who owns Honeydukes, tells me some of his billywig stings recently went missing. Prime potion ingredient. And I know you fancy yourself a skilled potioneer.
What? But, sir, I haven't been anywhere near Honeydukes.
Bah! That's enough from you. Just know that I have eyes and ears everywhere. On your way, Mr. Weasley.
Well, there's one for my diary.
You! It took us 3 days to find your brother, and your mother almost squashed him first. You know how much she hates dung beetles? Ah, but I bet that's why you did it, eh? Well, let's see how much you like being turned into an insect next time you test my temper! Oh, my exams. Not a one of them deserves more than a T. Not sure he's in at the present moment, the headmaster. Would be sure to tell him how very much you despise him.
Headmaster? Here, what could he want?
Mr. Gaunt! Where do you think you're going?
I beg your pardon, sir. I'm simply on my way outside.
Taking the day off, eh? Typical student, wasting the hours away.
I have to write 20 inches on Dittany and its uses. Was heading to the greenhouse.
Ah, yes! Mixed with bubo tuber pus makes a fine mustache paste. Yes, mustache paste. I find.
Are you feeling all right, sir? You don't seem yourself.
I assure you I am quite healthy, Gaunt. If I need a medical diagnosis, I shall head to St. Mungo's. If you...
Something is very wrong with Professor Dittany and bubo tuber pus.
I'm going to regret this once I'm Minister for Magic.
Professor, a word? Professor Black, again, it is not too late to reconsider your decision regarding Quidditch. We could still have trials and a somewhat shortened season. It would be better than none at all.
But the injury, Madam Kogawa.
Professor, more than one student has taken a bludger to the head on our pitch. I dare say it knocked some sense into them. And they're fine now. The fact that it happened to be a pureblood, well, that's no reason to...
What nonsense! That you would trivialize the health of a student over a silly game.
A silly game? You are quite impossible sometimes. Sir, I've a good mind to write to the Department of Magical Games and Sports at the Ministry about you.
Good idea. I can even provide the parchment should you need it. Now, where is my elf?
Parchment? Very well, I will, and with pleasure. And I spotted Scrope in the Great Hall. Seems to be avoiding me.
I wonder why. Good day, Madam Kagawa.
What did we do to deserve him as a headmaster?
I haven't time for any of you at the moment. None. None at all. Move aside.
I hope it's not about anything I've been doing.
Miss Broom, a word.
Oh, Professor, this is an interesting surprise. It's Bloom, by the way.
Remind me of your area of affinity, Broom. OWLs are swift approaching.
Charms, sir. Non-verbal spells. Might work on one that makes me disappear.
Well, keep at it, Broom. And before you know it, you'll be as invisible as that new fifth year seems to be.
They're not invisible, sir. I've seen them near the library. In fact, they help me with my, heavy books.
Speaking of invisible, where's my blasted house elf?
Something seems a little off with the headmaster.
When I witness what passes for magic in these halls, I simply mourn for the future of the wizarding world.
Professor, a word, please. Hello, Professor Black.
Ah, Professor Weasley. How delightful to see you.
Sir?
Since I have you here, I wonder if I might, speak with you about Professor Fig.
Oh. Very well.
I've decided to give him a bit more, leeway with his time.
Leeway, Professor? Are you sure that's wise? I confess I do worry for his students. He's rarely here as it is.
Well, yes. He's handling some official ministry business for me.
I see. But, sir, if I may, I am wary of how much time the new fifth year seems to be spending away from the castle, supposedly on Professor Fig's behalf. I've heard unsettling rumors of their escapades. Everything from sneaking into the Forbidden Forest to confronting Ranrock's loyalists and Rookwood's lot.
What? Goodness. You cannot believe everything you hear, Professor. No, you cannot. I mean, I shall keep an eye on Fig. You simply keep doing the wonderful job that you're doing. Simply wonderful.
Thank you. But I'm happy to look into...
Good. That'll be all, Weasley. I mean, Professor Weasley. Good day.
A wonderful job. Leeway for Professor Fig. I shall never understand that one.
That ought to give Professor Fig some breathing room.
Professor Black is happy with Scrope's performance as his house elf. There's no doubt in Scrope's mind.
Attention, students. I hereby decree that the Great Hall be forthwith decorated in the noble banners of Gryffindor. I shall be taking no questions at this time, or ever. Scrope!
Oh, greetings, Master.
Remind me of the password to my office.
Oh, but Master made Scrope swear never to tell anyone, even Master himself.
How dare you question me? I've a mind to give you a matching set of ears.
Yes, sir. Of course, sir. Scrope begs forgiveness. It is the Black family motto, Master.
Right. Of course.
Master does remember it.
Of course I remember. It's the Black family reigns.
Is Master giving Scrope a test?
It's pure bloods forever, isn't it?
Close, Master. Scrope thinks Master is indeed testing Scrope. It is always pure.
Obviously.
And, of course, as Master knows, in French.
Yes, of course. I order you to pronounce it for me.
Oh, but Master knows that Scrope's French is most pitiful. Very well. Toujours pur.
Ha! Thank you. Never speak of this conversation with me or anyone else.
Of course, sir. Scrope shall try his best to keep out of Master's way.
The polyjuice potion's wearing off. I best get out of sight. Made it just in time. It's wearing off.
Fig was right. I can't believe it worked. Now, to speak the password to the gargoyle. Revelio.
You can't imagine how inconvenient travel was before.
Revelio. Alohomora. Revelio. Bombarda! Alohomora. Revelio. Revelio. Lumos. The gargoyle. That's where I need to speak the password. Revelio. Toujours pure. I wonder if all the elite wizarding families have a motto. Revelio. Alohomora. Revelio. Revelio. Alohomora. Revelio.
It's good to see you.
All thanks to Professor Fig's quick thinking. Now what?
Approach the pedestal in the antechamber and read the book that appears.
What can I expect to find in the book?
A story. I cannot say more. You may recognize some elements of it, as I was inspired by a tale with which many wizarding children are familiar.
I suspect there will be more to this than reading a book.
Your suspicions are correct. We shall speak when you are finished.
Has this been under the headmaster's nose all this time?